Are you looking for a travel trailer that's compact and easy to tow with most vehicles? Well, stick around, folks. We found some awesome travel trailers less than 20 feet long. Hey everybody, Mike with RVBlogger here in front of the camera, and Susan's behind the camera. And if you've seen us before on YouTube, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time seeing us, welcome aboard. Susan and I drive all around the country visiting RV shows and RV dealerships so we can shoot our tours of RVs and bring them to you wherever you are. And we also invite you to join our private Facebook group called RV Camping for Newbies. We have over 175,000 people in the group who all get together, compare notes, talk about great camping destinations and recipes and all that great stuff. So we invite you to head on over to RV Camping for Newbies and join in on all the fun. And when you do, please leave your email address, because then you can receive our awesome newsletters full of great information and videos, plus awesome discounts to many great RV products and services that we use ourselves. But without any further ado, let's get on with our review of fantastic travel trailers less than 20 feet long. This travel trailer is the Coachmen Clipper, model number 11,000 ROK. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of 2,419 pounds, a cargo carry capacity of 1,346 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,765 pounds. The hitch weight is just 265 pounds. It measures in at 16 feet, 1 inches long, and it can sleep up to 2 people. The manufacturer does not list a gray tank capacity, and it may not even have one. The black tank capacity is 5 gallons because it's a cassette toilet, and the freshwater tank holds 26 gallons. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the right-hand side is where your storage area and bathroom are located. Then we wrap on around into what we consider the dinette and bedroom and living room area. Outside on the back of this camper is where the outdoor kitchen is located. Our first impression upon walking in this camper is, at least for me, duck, because the ceiling height in here is a little bit low. I can't even stand all the way straight up, but this is a small camper, and you know, let's see what the ceiling height is in here though, because it's just so noticeable the minute you walk in. And it is 5 feet 8.5 inches tall. So you guys know I'm 5'11", so I'm definitely going to be, you know, crouching down anywhere inside this camper. Now on the front of this camper is where all of your storage is located in here, or a bunch of it anyway. You've got all these open shelves with cargo netting in front. I don't know why they didn't put it here, because if you store something here, you certainly want to hold that in place as well. And then it does have one door that opens, so you do have some closed storage in there. Now there's not a bar or anything in here, like so you can hang up some garments, but it does give you a little bit of storage that is closed off, and you could always easily install a little wardrobe bar in there if you want to hang some things up. Now from there, we go right into the bathroom area in here. Now this is what's considered a wet bath, okay? And the reason it's called a wet bath is because the toilet and the shower are all sitting on the same floor. So if you're in here taking a shower and you're using your shower wand, which has antifreeze all in it, you're going to get yourself wet, you're going to get the toilet all wet, and you're going to get the shower base all wet. Then after you take a shower, you kind of need to dry everything off in case you need to come in and use the bathroom again. So that's what's called a wet bath. A dry bath is when the toilet and shower are on separate floors. So when you take a shower, only the shower gets wet, the rest of the bathroom stays dry. So that's the meaning of the two terms. Now, if you're in here using the bathroom, it does come with this curtain that you would simply pull around on the track, and that becomes your shower curtain if you're in here showering. And I guess if you're using the bathroom and you needed a little privacy, you could always pull the shower curtain around for that as well. Now this toilet that I'm sitting on is what's known as a cassette toilet. So when you go to the bathroom in here, everything goes into like a plastic container called a cassette. We'll show you outside. You remove that cassette and then you can go dump that in a bathroom at the bathhouse or something like that, and then reinstall it, and your bathroom is good to go. Now here I am sitting at what we would call the dinette and your bedroom and your living area in this camper. It's kind of serves all three uses, which is great. In a small camper, you need things to be multifunctional, and this certainly provides that opportunity. But you'll notice, first of all, on the wall here to my left is where the wall-mounted air conditioner is located. Now, a wall-mounted air conditioner in a camper this size is really pretty adequate. The entire length of the camper is only 16 feet, and that actually includes the tongue of the trailer. So inside here, we're really looking at about 13 feet. This is plenty big enough to keep you nice and cool on those hot summer days. And it also has a furnace in this camper, which will keep you nice and warm on those early spring or fall chilly nights. So very, very nice setup there. Underneath of here, this is just where your air conditioner plugs into the wall. So that's easily accessible for you. And then you just have a solar controller right here next to that. Now, a wall-mounted air conditioner, some folks would probably say, you know, I don't really want that in my camper. It doesn't look that great, blah, blah, blah. But one of the big advantages is if it ever breaks and you need to replace it, these are super easy to replace. You just buy another one, take the old one out, screw the new one in, plug it in down below, and you're good to go. So it does have its benefits, that's for sure. Also next to me here, you'll notice that there is a receptacle, a little charging center here with a 12 volt and a couple of USB ports. And then your cable is here if you wanted to have a TV inside your RV. Now, I'm a little disappointed with this location because there is nowhere to mount a TV here. So there's really, I think they put it in the wrong spot. It should probably be over on the other side because there's also a receptacle over there where you could plug your TV in, and then you could easily mount your TV on that big blank wall above it, and that would be the perfect spot for your TV location. So I'm not sure if this was intentional or by accident, but that's where it is. And I'm not really sure why at all. Now, as far as the dinette goes, this is a good sized dinette. I would say you could get, you know, 2 people very easily sitting in here having a meal. And this camper is really meant for 2 people, right? There's just this one big bed. I guess if you had a kid, you know, you could maybe squeeze 3 of you in here, but and everybody could use the table if you did that as well, but it's a decent sized table. This is also meant to just be your living area where you might relax and take it easy. If it's raining outside, you don't want to sit outside, you could sit in here and relax. And then finally, this does convert into your bed, and I'll show you how that works in just a couple minutes. Now up top here, you'll also notice there's additional storage. It's all open, and they have this cargo netting in here, so that'll hold things in place for you while you're driving up and down the road. There's also a window on each side of this area, so you can open those up, get a nice cross breeze through here as well. And then there's a light above, and these lights do turn on individually, so if you wanted to use this one as your reading light before you go to sleep at night, that works really well. You can just turn it off and go right to sleep. There's also a little bit of an end table that's between the 2 benches. It's just on the floor here to my right, and then below that table there is storage, and underneath both of these benches there's also additional storage. And if Susan and I own this camper, we would probably just have some clear bins. We might label them with a black Sharpie or permanent marker, but if they're clear, you can see inside of them and what's there. You slide those bins underneath of the benches and maybe even under this end table, and that way your stuff stays organized and it doesn't move around while you're traveling either. So that would be the way to go, I think, in this particular setup. So let me show you now how you would take the dinette table down and convert this into a bed, and then we'll see what size bed we have in here as well. So the first thing you need to do to convert this into a bed is just lift up your table. Hopefully the poles don't go flying anywhere, but sometimes they do. And I'll just put these under here. And then your dinette table drops right down onto these little supports on each side of the bench. And so this just flips over and it just sits right on there. And you can push it up so it meets the end table there. And then your back cushions on each side just go right into the middle. And you got to squish them in place a little bit. And there you go. You've just converted your dinette into your bed. One, I guess, disadvantage to a setup like this is that every day you have to set it up and take it down, right? You probably won't leave it in the bed position all the time. And so it could be a little inconvenient there, but it's really easy to do. I mean, you saw me do this in 10 seconds. It's not a big deal. but it also allows you to have a multifunctional space in a really small camper. So, you know, pluses and minuses to every single thing we do. Now let's check out the bed size in here, because it's pretty big. I guess from side to side, we're looking at 76 inches. And then from front to back, gosh, we're looking at 72 inches. So, you know, I guess if you lay east to west, you would consider this a short king-sized bed. So it's a very, very good sized bed with lots and lots of room in here. Now, for you folks that don't like to sleep in one bed together at night and you want to have a twin bed set up, you can also do that in here, right? You would just leave your cushions in place. I would imagine you would take the dinette down overnight, so you just have to pull your table down and put it somewhere to store it. I would just store it outside or put it up front. But then you would have two twin-size beds in here. And if you chose to do that, each of your twin beds, we already know this one is 72 inches, and then the width on it is going to be about 28 inches wide. So not a ton of space, but also, you know, a decent sized twin bed. So you can use this camper either way. You can go like, you know, short king, or you can go two short twin beds. Now, like I mentioned inside, the kitchen on this camper is located outside at the back of the camper. And it comes with this really nice big door that lifts up. So it gives you some overhead cover in case you're outside and it's a little bit of rain or something. You're staying dry while you're using your kitchen area here. Great kitchen setup, by the way. It's got this really nice griddle set up here with a great size griddle for a small camper like this. Over top of that, we have a decent sized refrigerator. At the top of the refrigerator, there is a place for a couple of ice trays. And then over top of that, there's some open storage with some cargo netting here. As we move on through, we've got a couple of cabinets that open up. This does have a fixed shelf inside. It's not adjustable, but you have plenty of room inside of these cabinets for all of your food storage and everything. And then down below, we've got a small kitchen sink here, a 2-burner propane stove, plenty of countertop space with receptacles over top so you can plug in a toaster, coffee maker, whatever you need out here. And then down below, you've got your microwave oven. This travel trailer is the Prolite Classic. The unloaded vehicle weight is 2,290 pounds. The cargo carry capacity is 1,210 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,500 pounds. The hitch weight is a nice low 220 pounds. It measures in at 19 feet 11 inches long, and it can sleep up to 3 people. The gray tank capacity is 25 gallons, the black tank is 25 gallons, and the freshwater tank holds 27 gallons. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the right-hand side is where your living room and bedroom are located. And then we wrap on around through the kitchen and dinette area, and behind me here is the bathroom. Now, our first impression of this travel trailer when we walked in is that it's got a really nice setup in here. The biggest reason is because we have this multifunctional area on the right-hand side, which serves as both your living area and your bedroom. But we'll take a look at that in just a minute. Overall, though, you'll notice there are no slide outs in here. And for a lot of folks, that's a really good thing. A lot of folks don't want to have to mess with slide outs and worry about them leaking or getting stuck in the out position. So no slide outs equals a lot less hassles. But it still feels really nice and roomy in here. There are lots of windows. So let's take a look at what we have. Now, first of all, on the right-hand side, we have this nice couch here. And this would serve as your relaxing and living and lounging area if you want to come on in and take it easy and relax. Maybe it's a rainy day or something and you're hanging out inside your camper. But this also serves as a Murphy bed. And so you just pull your D-clips in, lower this right down, and then the mattress just flips right on over like this into place. Now, the mattress they have in here is a really nice mattress. It's a bamboo mattress, so it's hypoallergenic and really feels nice and comfy when you lay on it. I was laying on it earlier and it felt really good. One other thing to note is a lot of folks don't like a fold in the mattress like this one has. But the fold isn't really in the center of the mattress. It's a little bit lower. So as long as it's below your hips, I think you'll be nice and comfy when you're sleeping at night in here. Let's get a quick measurement on it while we're talking about it. And this mattress is 74 inches. by about 60 inches wide, so this would be considered an RV-sized queen bed. A residential queen bed is 80 inches long and 60 inches wide. This one's 74 by 60, so pretty good sized bed in here. Now all around the bed, you've got this really nice cabinetry here. These are all maple wood fronts that are on here. Above, you've got one large storage compartment, but the hardware is on here to keep the doors in the up position when you open them. So that's a really nice feature to have. And then you've got a wardrobe cabinet on each side. There's a little bar up top there so you can hang your garments in there as well. And then there's a little end table here on each side of the bed as well. Behind the wardrobe cabinets, there is a little shelf that's built in with an additional cubby down below that. And then you've got a couple of reading lights here that turn on and off right here at the location, so they're easy to access, and you won't disturb your partner if one of you has your light on and the other has it off. Couple of other nice features to note about your living and bedroom area is on the left hand side here, just underneath the end table, there is an electrical outlet so you can plug in if you need to. There's also a window on each side here that can open up, get some nice cross ventilation through. There's also a max air fan up top here, so that'll help draw even more air through your camper. And then down below me here is a door that opens, and that also goes all the way through to the pass-through storage all the way in the front of this trailer. So you actually have 3 access points to your storage. Now here we are at the kitchen area in here, and this is what we call an inline kitchen. It just means that all the kitchen appliances are in a line. It's a very efficient way to set up your kitchen in a smaller travel trailer. Now up top here, you'll notice that we've got really nice, beautiful maple doors up here as well. All the hardware is very nice and it holds the door in place when it's in the open position. You've got your radio controls here and then a microwave oven. Underneath of here, you've got a light that shines down on your countertop area. And I like this because they really held the cabinets up a bit, so it creates a lot of space here over top of your countertop. So a lot of them have the cabinets lower and it just seems to just feel a little bit crowded. On my left-hand side here, we have a couple of USB ports and a 12-volt charger as well. And then you've got a 2-burner Dometic range here. The only thing that I would change about this is I would probably get a smaller range setup, turn the burners to front to back instead of side to side, and get a little bit more countertop space here, because although we do have some countertop space, we could certainly have a little more if we rearrange the burner setup. There is an outlet on the front of the cabinet, so if you wanted to plug in a toaster oven or your coffee pot, you could plug it in right here. And then we've got a window over top of the kitchen sink, which is always a great feature. Little gooseneck faucet overhead, nice size sink. And then you'll notice that the countertop here is rounded on this corner instead of a hard 90-degree corner, and the cabinet also rounds. And that's so that when it's in the bed position here, you can scooch around here and not have to hit your hips on this corner. So that's a really great feature as well. You'll also notice down below here, there's a little purple light. There's one here and there's one near the entry door. So those are just little night lights, so you can turn those on and sort of make your way around without running into anything. Underneath of the kitchen sink and the cooktop, there is just a ton of storage underneath. So really, really great job there. Now just beyond the cooktop and microwave is where the refrigerator is located. There's a nice sized storage compartment over top of the fridge. A whole lot of room up there. This is about 2 feet deep, so you have a lot of storage there. I love this because you have a separate freezer and refrigerator, and so you can keep all your ice nice and cold while you're traveling along. And then below the fridge there's an access door here, but that's really just to access your hot water heater. Now across from the kitchen is where the dinette is located. Starting from the top here, we have these 3 beautiful cabinet doors up here. Again, this is all solid maple in this unit, and you can see it's one large cabinet here with 3 doors that open, so it's fully accessible. And these Prolite campers are very, very impressive to me. They're the only camper that I can actually hang from the countertops and not rip them off the wall. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. All right, I'm hanging on here. I'm lifting up my feet and I am fully hanging on these cabinets. I weigh 185 pounds, so I've never seen a travel trailer that you can hang from the cabinets before, but this one can do it. It's very impressive, and these are very, very well built and made and put together. Now, the dinette itself is on the camp side of this trailer, which is really great because when you're sitting at your dinette, you've got this nice window overhead. You're actually looking outside at your campsite, so you can see your picnic table, your fire ring, and all that stuff. It's a much better layout than when the dinette's on the other side and you're looking outside at your sewer hoses and stuff. The dinette also has a light overhead here, and you can turn this off right here. And the dinette also turns into a bed. You can drop your dinette table, rearrange the cushions. If you were to do that, you would end up with a bed that's about 64 inches by 25 inches. So for you folks that are traveling as a couple and then maybe you have one child, they'd be able to sleep here. For folks like our age, maybe we want to bring one of our grandkids along and then they could sleep here as well. Down below the dinette bench on this side, there's a 12-volt power point and also USB ports. So if you're sitting at your table here and you need to charge any electronic devices, you can easily do that. And then on this dinette bench, you can lift this door here to access some storage underneath. Now here I am in the bathroom, standing in the shower like I usually am. You guys know I'm 5'11", and we've got some ceiling height over my head in here, so let's see how tall it is. Standing in the shower, we have about, I would call it 6 feet 3 inches of headroom. Outside of the camper, the normal headroom throughout is about 6 feet 6 inches. Although as you get towards the front and the back of the camper, the roof slopes, so you lose a little bit of that head space as you work your way back. Now the shower in here is a good sized shower. It's about 34 inches wide, and I'd call it about 24 inches deep. So a very good size for your shower. Your shower head here just mounts on the wall, and you can remove the wand so you can shower. It's very roomy in here. This does come with a shower curtain that you would pull across, but at least you have a dry bath. Now, there's nowhere in here for you to put any soap or shampoo. There's no shelves or anything. Susan and I have a soap dispenser in our rig, and we also have the same one at home, and it mounts right on the wall, and it's got 4 things that you can fill with body soap, shampoo for me, and then shampoo and conditioner for Susan. So if you want to check out the one we use, I'll throw a link in the show notes down below and you can check that out. Also in here, it does have a light overhead, and there's also a fan here in the middle of the bathroom so you can vent out any steam. There's also a window that opens in this bathroom to create even more ventilation. Just outside the shower is where your vanity sink is located. Nice faucet overhead, and then you've got some additional storage down below. I do want to note that there is no electrical outlet back here by the vanity, so if you needed to plug in a blow dryer or something, you wouldn't really be able to do that back here, but maybe the folks at Prolite will see the comments and realize they need to add one. Now, to my right here in the bathroom above the toilet, they've got this really nice cabinet here, which is sort of a medicine cabinet. It's got some built-in shelves in here, and I wish it had a mirror door on it. I think that would be a really nice feature to add, but nonetheless, you've got a lot of storage in there. And then finally, when I'm sitting on the commode, I'm not going to pass the elbow test on my left, but on my right, I've got plenty of room. So here we are outside of this camper, and at the very front of it here, this is where the pass-through storage is underneath the bed inside that I mentioned earlier. You can access it from a door on each side of the camper or from the door underneath of the sofa inside, so that's a terrific feature. Now, we're at a manufacturer and dealer's RV show up in Elkhart this week, and these doors are locked, so I can't open them to show you, but you've seen a storage compartment before. You get the idea. There's also an outside receptacle here, so you can plug in anything outside that you like, a fan, an induction cooktop, whatever you have. You can set up a little table, plug things in, and you're good to go out here. Also, on the very back of this camper, there is an exterior shower port, so if you want to take an outdoor shower or just rinse off your feet or anything like that, that's easily done on the back, and it is both hot and cold water as well. This travel trailer is the inTech Sol Eclipse. Now on our numbers here, you'll notice that we have ranges, and that's because that's what's on the manufacturer's website. It has to do with the options that you select when you buy this trailer. And so the unloaded vehicle weight ranges between 3,240 pounds and 3,660 pounds. The cargo carry capacity ranges from 1,140 pounds up to 1,560 pounds. The gross vehicle weight rating is 4,800 pounds. The hitch weight ranges from 490 pounds up to 550 pounds. It measures in at 19 feet long, and it can sleep up to 2 people. The tank capacity for black and gray combined is 24 gallons, and the fresh water tank is 28 gallons. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the right-hand side, we have the front kitchen area. Then we wrap around past the bathroom, and in the rear of this trailer is where your living room, dinette, and bedroom are all located. Now, our first impression when we walked in here is that this feels really modern and sleek. It's got sort of a European design, I guess some people would say. It's a really cool travel trailer, and everybody that's been stopping in here during the show today has thought that it looked pretty cool too. Now, first of all, it's got a front kitchen, and you'll notice this big panoramic window across the front. Everyone seems to like that. Plus, you get all of this awesome countertop space up here as well. Starting on my left-hand side, up top here, we have a nice little cabinet for some storage. It's got terrific hardware in here that holds the doors open for you, and then they close nice and secure. We also have side windows here in the kitchen that you can open and let in lots of ventilation. And it's got these nice side splashes in here too. Very nice and unique design. Across the top, we can also have some open storage here. And then we have some more closed storage, which is just one big cabinet all the way across. And then on the other side, more open storage, and they have all these really nice lights in here as well. Again, it just gives it that modern, sleek feel. And then you have all of your control panels and fuse box loaded up top here as well. Down below that, we have plenty of countertop space here. We have a hideaway trash can here that you can pull out of there to get your trash out. And then we have this nice big farmhouse rectangular sink with a very beautiful faucet overhead, and this detaches as a separate sprayer. And then to the right of that, this is taped down. Excuse me for a second, we're at the RV show. It's got a 2-burner propane stove. Below your propane stove is where you've got a microwave located. Not a convection microwave, just a regular microwave. And then you've got your storage down here as well. That's all open storage. I like the way they put these bungees in place to hold things in. You could either go with cargo netting or bungees, and they've done a really nice job here. It looks terrific. There are also some cabinet doors underneath of the microwave. There's additional storage underneath the kitchen sink. And then we have these nice wide drawers that pull out for all of your kitchen utensils. Now, the refrigerator location is right next to the doorway, and I think that's a great spot to put a refrigerator. If you're outside and you want to grab a soda or a beer or water, you can just reach right on inside, open the fridge door, and get whatever you want out of there. There's also a little spot up top here for an ice tray. Now, as we move back into the RV, the first thing you'll note right above where the refrigerator is located is this cabinet here. There is a bar up top, so you can use it to hang your garments. So it's a bit of a coat closet for you when you first walk in. Behind that, we've got our TV location here, and this is a great spot because this is your living area and your dining area, and you can even sleep back here, so it serves all three purposes. So the TV can swing on out and you can set it up just right for you, however you're using the space at the time. Above that, we have an open storage compartment with a bungee cord to hold things in place. We also have a window back here, a window on the back, and another window on this side, so you get plenty of light, and you can even get some cross ventilation in here as well. Above the side window here, which matches the other side of this trailer, you've got more open storage with these really cool blue lights that are in here. And then on the back, you have these 3 cabinets that open, and so you have 3 places for additional storage here. Now, one of the functions that you can use this area for is your dinette, and it comes with this table with a lagoon type holder on here, so that's pretty cool. You can move it all around and have it fit however you'd like. 2 people can sit here and very comfortably enjoy a meal together. Now you can also use this for your living area, and just sitting on the couch and laying back and enjoying your TV is another way to use this as living space. And then finally, this does become your bedroom as well, and I'll have to remove the table and everything and set it up a bit, so I'll be right back. So I've got the dinette table removed now, and the way that you would go ahead and make this into a bed is they have a couple of these interesting little pieces, and they go and fit underneath of the sofa cushions, and you can see where they just fit right into the grooves. Hold on a second, there we go. And so you put your cushions down, and then you also have these side cushions that go in the middle, and then this creates your entire bed back here. Now you'll notice that the cushions have two different sides to them, right? One of them has this gray side, and you would use this when you're just living in here, lounging around, using it as a couch or a dinette, because this material is easy to clean. But when you turn everything into a bed, you flip it over, and then it looks like this one that I'm sitting on, which gives you a memory foam mattress. So all of the cushions have both sides to them, and you just flip them according to how you're using the space. Now, if you set this up as a bed, or when you set it up as a bed, you would end up with a really large bed in here. And I bet you it's about a king size bed. Let's see. So that's about 75 inches. And then the width here is going to be 80 inches. So if you sleep this way, you've got 80 inches of length, and then the width is 70 inches, and that makes it about a residential king size bed back here. So that's really, really fantastic. Also, you'll note when you do use it as a bed that you do have a little shelf on each corner. There's also a 12-volt plug on each side, and then you've got your little reading lights back here as well. So it really works out well for bedtime. You can plug in any electronic devices that you have, or use your reading lights as you drift off to sleep at night. Now here I am in the bathroom, and this is a wet bath that's in this particular model. And if you don't know what a wet bath is, what that means is that the toilet sits on the shower floor inside of your bathroom. So when you take a shower in here, the toilet also gets wet. Couple advantages and disadvantages. The big advantage to a wet bath is that it saves a ton of space. So it gives you more space outside of the bathroom for other features that you can enjoy, like a king size bed in the back of your trailer. The disadvantage to it is that everything's wet. So after you take a shower, now you have to come in and dry everything off if you want to come back in and use it as a bathroom. Otherwise, the floor and the toilet are going to be all wet. Another thing to note with wet baths is that if your trailer's not perfectly level or leaning towards the shower drain, you could end up with an inch or two of water in here that doesn't drain out, and then you end up having to push that water towards the drain and dry all of that up as well. Just a couple things to keep in mind when you're looking at a wet bath versus a dry bath. Let's take a look at the ceiling height in here, because it actually feels pretty roomy for a wet bath. Usually they're much more cramped than this. Your ceiling height in here is 74 inches, so that's 6 feet 2 inches tall. Up into the vent, you've got 6 feet 4 inches of headroom there. So for some of you taller folks, this may actually work out and not be a bad setup for you. Now the shower is set up on this side. It's got a detachable wand. You can also adjust the height of it up and down. It's got a little soap dish here. And then behind me here, they have a little mesh thing on the wall that you can put in some soaps and shampoos and things along those lines. We actually use a soap dispenser in our Class A RV, and that would be perfect in here. You could mount it high up on the front wall. Ours has 4 dispensing things in it, so you can have like my shampoo, and then our soap, and then Susan's shampoo and her conditioner. If you're interested in something like that, because maybe you want to install it in your rig, I'll put a little link in the show notes down below, and you can check out the one that we use. We've had it for a couple years. We have one at home and one in the RV, and they both work great. Now, as far as having a mirror in your bathroom goes, they've actually mounted it on the door here, and when you close the door, it actually does create a watertight seal. You can see the rubber gasket around the door. There's actually 2, and that keeps the water inside the bathroom while you're taking a shower. And finally, when I'm sitting on the commode here, I'm not going to pass the elbow test, but for a wet bath, I've got plenty of room in here. I don't feel claustrophobic at all. Now here we are outside of this trailer, and there's a couple of interesting features out here. One of them is it's got a nice little storage compartment here, so you can stow away some of your camping gear. And this particular model also comes with an outdoor kitchen. So this just rolls right on out of here, nice and smooth. That gives you a griddle top to cook on, and you also have a Dometic electric cooler to keep all of your drinks nice and cold. Hey guys, let us know which one of these travel trailers you like the most, and most importantly, why, in the comments down below. We would love to hear from you. And if there's anything you wish maybe the manufacturers would change about these travel trailers, we want to hear about that too. So leave your comments. We're not the only ones that read them. The manufacturers do too. But if you want to see even more RVs that are less than 20 feet long, just click the box down below, and Susan and I will see you in the next video.